What is up, YouTube? Today we're going to play Turbo Living End. And this deck is trying to cast a Living End, as you know through the cascade mechanic. But this time it's trying to give all the creatures that come back haste. So the way this works is we use a Bloodbraid Marauder with the cascade mechanic to cast a Living End. This causes all the creatures onto the battlefield to be exiled, all the creatures in the graveyards to come back, and then all the creatures that are in exile are sacrificed. Using Enduring Courage, if this is in your graveyard, all the creatures gain haste until end of turn. So this allows you to more or less one-shot your opponent. Other things that are being played are Arcane Proxy in case Living End ends up in the graveyard. You can use Prototype to cast Living End. Colossal Sky Turtle to deal with some pesky creatures that are currently on the battlefield. You can bounce them back to their owner's hand. You can also discard this to return a card from your graveyard to your hand in case you need that Bloodbraid Marauder or Arcane Proxy to cast Living End. 2 Endurances. This allows you to basically empty out your opponent's graveyard to avoid their creatures coming back. 4 Fear of Missing Out. This is just a Delirium enabler because it has 2 types. Also has a nice effect of allowing you to discard and then draw a card. 3 Generous End to find forests. 3 Oliphants to find mountains. 4 Malevolent Rumble to dig, fill up your graveyard. Same with Cash Grab and Dredger's Insight. The mana base is playing 1 Gemstone Caverns, allows you to speed up when you're on the draw. There's another one in the sideboard in case you're on the draw. Sideboard just contains Artifact Hate. This is mostly for Psychic Frog. 1 Dismember. 2 Disruptor Flute to avoid possibly counter spells or the fairies. 1 Force of Vigor to deal with Graveyard Hate. Same with the Foundation Breakers. 1 Inevitable Betrayal if you're playing against big creature, big mana decks. 1 Mystical Dispute. And 2 Unlicensed Sources to also remove creatures from your opponent's graveyard before your Living End. Alright, let's play. To play, it's always good with this deck. Alright, so this hand doesn't have any land, so we have to mulligan. This hand has 2 lands, no red mana. We have Dredger's Insight to dig for Oliphant, for Generous End. This could work. I'm going to probably bottom the second Dredger's Insight and keep. Unfortunately, this hand is doing nothing on turn 1, but I don't want to go down to 5 cards. And we have 2 dig effects, so should be good. I'm gonna lead on the Mistrise Village. Perhaps the Osage will come in handy if we draw another land. I'm going to skip to my turn. So the opponent is playing Plains and a Cleric class. Probably some life gain deck. Let's see, I draw Misty Rainforest. I'm going to fetch and shock and play the Dredger's Insight. I need to go with the Stomping Grounds here to enable all my colors. So we're milling 4 cards. We don't care about the order. What are we taking here? So we currently have 3 card types in the graveyard. We need to get at least 4 of them for Delirium. Since we're not really up against the control deck, Mistrise Village is useless. I think I'm gonna go with a Generous. And, well, Mistrise Village could be useful with the Arcane Proxy. Yeah, let's go with the Mistrise Village. Alright, and we're going to skip again. I'll leave my graveyard open so we can track what's in there. Alright, so the opponent plays a land that gained 1 life and some enchantment that could be relevant in case we want to haste our creatures out of the graveyard, but it's probably going to overwhelm the opponent anyway. Alright, this is a good draw. Let's cast it and see what we get. Alright, we find a Bloodbraid Marauder, so we can Living End next turn, since we have Delirium now. I'm gonna take it. We don't care about the order that ends up in our graveyard. Alright, so they gain 1 life off the Eldrazi spawn. It's not really relevant. I think I'm going to play the Boseiju here. So we can cash grab in our opponent's end step as well. Alright. A creature. Alright. We don't really care about that because we're going to wipe the board. Let's cast the cash grab. This is what we want to see. Enduring Courage. This will give our creatures haste when they come back, although they enter tapped because of this enchantment. I think I'm gonna leave everything in the graveyard. We are going to cast the Bloodbraid Marauder. We can either put the Colossal Sky Turtle in the graveyard or the Generous End. I think the Colossal Sky Turtle would be nice, because their creatures seem to have flying, although Generous End has reach. I'm going to start with the Mistrise Village. I'm going to bounce their creature. Pay 2 times blue. And then I'm going to Bloodbraid Marauder. The Cascade trigger, cast Delirium, cast Living End. Get a lot of triggers on the stack that don't matter right now because they come in to play tapped. Let's just order them. It doesn't really matter what the order is. We are going to put their graveyard on the bottom of their library. We gain 1 life of the Dredgers inside. They gain a lot of life too. We're just going to skip this. Going to bin the Generous End of the fear of missing out. And we're going to skip until our next turn. So next turn we should be able to inflict a lot of damage. Opponent gives up. Alright. Let's see how we're going to sideboard for this. So Foundation Breaker can destroy their enchantments. It's probably useful. Similarly, Force of Vigor could be useful. Want to bring in 1 gemstone caverns for being on the draw. We'll go down 1 Mistrise village. We will go down 1 living end. We will probably go down 1 cash grab. Being on the draw, it's a bit too slow maybe. Didn't seem like they were filling their graveyard much, so we will go down on... Let's go down on 1 Arcane Proxy because I want to keep some green cards to pitch to force a figure. Let's see how this goes. Alright, so we have 2 land, unfortunately 1 living end in hand, but we can do something. If we can get this into the graveyard, we can cast it with Arcane Proxy, can bounce 2 of their creatures, and we have a Bloodbraid Marauder. Yeah, let's keep this. Their deck doesn't seem to be too fast, so can probably go a bit slower this time. Let's go with Scalding Tarn and go to their end step. Opponents place a Cavern of Souls and an Angel. That will soon be board white. Hopefully. Let's see. We need blue for these 3 cards. We need a red for Bloodbraid Marauder. So Thundering Falls should do. Let's Surveil. Treacherous Insight, that's what we're looking for. Let's keep that on top. And this doesn't do much. No, it's just a ramp spell. Let's fetch and shock to get that 2nd blue that we need for Arcane Proxy. And green, so we'll shock in a Breeding Pool. And we'll go with a Treacherous Insight. Fill our graveyard to reach Delirium for Bloodbraid Marauder. We don't care about the order. So Enduring Courage in the graveyard is really good. We already have 4 card types. I'm gonna go with the Mountain and say go. So next turn we could already cast Living End. Let's see what they play to see if that's any relevant. Okay. They gain a life. Didn't really do much. Let's see. That's a good pickup. So we're gonna play out the Mountain. 4 Cycle Generous End, and then Bloodbraid Marauder to Cascade. Let's pick up a Surveil land here. Just for the future, because we already have quite some mana available. With the Surveil land, we could possibly surveil something into a yard. Let's cast Living End. Creatures come back with haste, but they come into play tapped. That's unfortunate. They gain a bunch of life, but we can just skip to our next turn and then hit them for, let's see, 8, 11, 16 damage. That should do it. They cast some artifact to reduce the cost of their creature spells, and they gain some tokens when they cast a creature spell. Not really relevant. Can even bounce their creatures. Let's just attack. Going to play the Hedge Maze. See what we're drawing next turn. The gemstone caverns, we don't really want that. And just sit back. We can bounce their creatures with the sky turtle. We can sacrifice a food to gain some life. Okay, let's see what happens here. Once during each of your turn, you play a land card from your graveyard. Okay. We can bounce that at the end of turn. Let's just bounce it now. This one. Goodbye. So they gain 3 life. It's unfortunate. Or they gain even more life, 5 life. It's unfortunate because now we can't kill him yet. We can bounce their token. Can go Dredger's Insight. Can also go Arcane Proxy. So we're still hitting for 16. Yeah, let's keep the Sky Turtle. We will just go Dredger's Insight, see what we're getting. Foundation Breaker, that's a good pickup. We'll gain 2 life ourselves. We will, let's see. This is useless, this is interesting. We'll just destroy the monument. Leave back the Misty Rainforest. Let's go to combat. Swing. Probably block the Generous End. Oh, okay, they're gonna destroy the Bloodbraid Marauder, that's nice. Some extra damage. And we want to fill the graveyard with creatures in case we have to Living End again. So we'll evoke this Foundation Breaker. We will destroy this thing here. Put some triggers on the stack. Yes. Alright, that's gone. Let's go to the end step of our opponent to fetch. Okay, opponent scooped. Alright, thank you. Alright, so we are on the draw. We do have a Gemstone Caverns, which allows us to go fast, but we only have a 1 lander here. I don't think this is going to work. Let's maul. If we had a Generous End or an Oliphant, we could force or Mountain Cycle for that additional land. This works, so we still have a Gemstone Caverns, we have another land, we have a Living End, we could pitch to the Gemstone Caverns. Our opponent is gonna know what we're on, but that's fine. Or, no, actually let's put the Living End back and we'll pitch Enduring Courage to Gemstone Caverns. Yes, pitch the Enduring Courage. Alright, let's go to our turn. We'll lead on a Malevolent Rumble, depending on what our opponent is doing. Okay, forced. Opponent is on Infect, so then we're definitely leading on the Malevolent Rumble. Our life total doesn't really matter if we play against Infect. Malevolent Rumble gives us a blocker, which is really good. In this case, what do we want here? I think we'll just grab the land, although it's the wrong color. Endurance could work, but I don't think they're going to fill their graveyard. Generous End is basically like a tap land. Don't really want that, so we'll just wait it out. You could sacrifice a spawn token to land cycle with Generous End, but I think in this case we're not even blocking. Our opponent can do some damage, but I'd rather keep the mana. Let's see how our opponent is going to pump this elf. Okay, so it's a 4/4. And that's it. So we take 4 infect, 4 poison counters. That's alright. Okay, we draw a Living End. That's not good. So we can destroy their Inkmoth Nexus. Or we could go Dredger's Insight, or both. Let's actually do both. We can use this spawn token to block the elf, destroy the Inkmoth Nexus with the mana off of the spawn token. We need green mana, so let's just keep that open. Gemstone Caverns taps for green mana too, but they might interfere with it. No, we don't care about the order. Just grab a Mistrise Village and say go. We're really looking for Bloodbraid Marauder or the Arcane Proxy to do the Living End thing. We don't even have Delirium, so Bloodbraid Marauder wouldn't help us in this case. Not yet, at least. Although we're going to put Boseiju in the graveyard, probably. So then we would have Delirium. Let's see. Yeah, this is perfect. So we're going to block the Glistener Elf with our spawn token. And then before damage, we'll Boseiju the Inkmoth Nexus using our spawn token. So we shouldn't take any infect damage. And we got rid of their Inkmoth Nexus, which is pretty nice. Alright, let's see if our opponent has any pump spells. Nope. So next turn we'll go Dredger's Insight, and then hopefully we'll pick up a Bloodbraid Marauder. Fear of missing out. Interesting to cast as a blocker. Let's first see what we're getting off the Dredger's Insight. Hopefully a Bloodbraid Marauder, so we get rid of the Glistener Elf. And still no enabler. We'll just take the Hedge Maze. We'll play out the Mistrise Village, cast the Bloodbraid Marauder. As a blocker, we can discard the Living End and we pick up another land. Not what we want to see. Our graveyard doesn't have many creatures either, just 2 Generous Ends and 1 Endurance. We've seen 22 cards. Opponent casts a Noble Hierarch, which is good. I'll just block the Glistener Elf. We don't care if the Fear of Missing Out dies. Opponent doesn't seem to know our plan. Here we have an Oliphant. Next turn we could very well die. Can't cast the Oliphant. Let's just go Hedge Maze, see what we're drawing. Could go hedge maze. See what we're drawing. Bin it or go Oliphant. Next turn we can go Oliphant anyway because we have enough mana. I'll keep that in my hand. Pick up a land, we'll bin that. Alright, let's go to our next turn. Hopefully we'll live for another turn. This is going to deal 3. In fact, next time our opponent probably has some pump spells. Green Sun, Zenith, which is pretty good. Okay, even better. So they have 2 mana left for a pump spell. Next turn we could shock and steam fence, go with an Oliphant. This is bad for us. Opponent could one-shot us now. So we're taking 4 more. Mutagenic growth will kill us. Okay, so we're still alive, but our opponent could have some shenanigans with Venerated Rot Priest. Anyway, let's see. Pick up another land. This is not going well for us. We'll just cast the Oliphant and say go. We'll probably die anyway, because 1 or 2 targets are enough for the Venerated Rot Priest to give us more infect damage here. At least we have a blocker. Okay. That's good. We'll just block the Glistener Elf. And pray that we are going to live. We've seen 25 cards. Okay. Yeah, so we're dead. Alright, let's go to game 2. Just unfortunate that we didn't really see much. Could cast an Endurance. I don't think that's useful. Cursed Totem would stop their mana dorks. Could have a Dismember to just kill their infect creature. Disruptor Flute. Force of Vigor. Not really useful either. I think they might bring in some Graveyard Hate. Not sure. I think we'll just bring in 1 Dismember, go down 1 Living End. See how that goes. We'll be on the play now. Let's see. Gemstone Caverns is useless. Mistrise Village is the wrong color. Don't have Land Cyclers of them all. Okay, now we have green mana at least. Enduring Courage is definitely the worst card in hand, but we can discard it with the fear of missing out. We might want to go Fear of Missing Out and then Dredger's Insight later, so we can cascade. I think this is a good hand. Let's put back the Generous. Oh wait, we can't even cast the Fear of Missing Out. I think we're putting back the Mistrise Village because we can get red mana off the Generous End. Go Fear of Missing Out, discard Enduring Courage. Yeah. So we'll put back the Mistrise Village, keep this, shock in the Breeding Pool. This deck can function well on very little mana. Don't want to keep drawing lands like we did game 1. Every land is a forest now anyway, that's useful. That's a forest cycle. We'll grab a stomping ground. Our life total doesn't really matter in this match. Cool. We'll go with a stomping ground. Shock that in. Go fear of missing out. Discard the enduring courage to get one more type in the graveyard. And our creatures will come back with haste if we can pull off the living end. Arcane proxy could be a good pickup if we can get a living end in the yard. This is our graveyard. We have an Inkmoth Nexus, and they are going to go bring Sun Zenith, probably for a Venerated Rot Priest. Let's see. Yep. That could be dangerous. Another one. They're going to double that now. We really need to cascade. Let's hold back the fear of missing out. Just go with Dredger's Insight, hopefully pick up another land. Yeah, we do find a land. So play out the land and then sit back, hopefully live until the next turn, because then we will definitely win. We will have 4 types in the yard. They will come back with haste, wipe their board. They do have that Inkmoth Nexus, but we do have a generous end that has reach. Okay, they are going to dismember the fear of missing out. That's not bad. Have another creature in our graveyard. Try the Arbor. Okay. Probably activate the Inkmoth. No, they don't. So they just give us 2 poison counters. Alright. Then we'll fetch for a Surveil land. We need blue for that Arcane Proxy. So let's see what we have. We could go Hedge Maze, or we could go Thundering Falls. I think we care more about green, so we'll go with Hedge Maze. See what we're drawing next turn. Oliphant, we'll just put that in the graveyard. And then Misty is a nice pickup that allows us to go Cash Grab, Bloodbraid Marauder. We don't even have to fetch because of Jeremiah. Let's just go Cash Grab. See if we can fill our graveyard even more. We do put 2 more creatures in there. We'll just take a Dredger's Insight. We have 5 card types. Let's go Marauder. Should be able to one-shot them now. This resolves. I don't think Infect plays any counter magic. So let's see. Get a lot of triggers. I'll put all the Enduring Courage triggers on the stack. Our creatures come back with haste and +2/+0. Some fear of missing out triggers here. Okay, opponent scoops. Alright, now we need to bring in the Gemstone Caverns because we will be on the draw. We'll probably go down 1 Mistrise Village. I don't think, I mean, we could bring in some artifact and enchantment hate. Don't know if our opponent will bring in any hate. Our opponent now knows that we're on living end if they didn't know that from game 1. Just bring in an Ancient Grudge just in case, and we will go down one cash grab probably, because Ancient Grudge is also an instant. Let's see if we can hit the Gemstone Caverns. We don't. We do have a cash grab, so we can go turn 2 cash grab, turn 1 Oliphant, mountain cycling. And we should hopefully have 4 types in the yard, because we will have a land, instant, and creature for sure. And then go turn 3 Marauder. Might be too slow. Not sure if we can do better if we maul, so let's see. Opponent does nothing, that's good. And we have a Sky Turtle, that's a nice pickup. So we could either go cash grab turn 2 or Colossal Sky Turtle to just bounce our creature. Alright, they are surveilling. Don't know what the black mana is for. Hey, they've been a Might of Old Crows, so I might have enough pump spells. Okay, Dryad Arbor. This is nice. We will fetch and shock. We need green, we need a red. It will be a stomping ground. And we will go mountain cycling. Probably pick up a red-blue land, Steam Fence. So we have 2 blue mana for a possible Arcane Proxy. Again, our life total doesn't really matter here, since they are just dealing effect damage. We'll just shock in the Steam Fence and say go. We can bounce, we can also go cash grab. Don't know what our opponent is going to play. Could possibly empty our graveyard. Then we can quickly refill it with cash grab. Green Sun Zenith. Okay, that's pretty good for us. Glistener Elf, we don't care. We're going to wipe the board. Alright, we'll just go cash grab and hopefully reach 4 types. We reach 3 types. If we go Colossal Sky Turtle, we will have 4 types. Or 1 short, 1 mana short, but we can bounce Colossal Sky Turtle next time. Yeah, we'll just take the Misty. Just play that for possible surveil. So we can go Bloodbraid Marauder because it doesn't have Cascade yet. We can 4 cycle. We'll just go Misty and say go. We'll bounce the Glistener Elf. Have 4 types. Probably 4 cycle Degenerous End as well. We should bounce the Colossal Sky Turtle. We should bounce the Glistener Elf, sorry. We don't want to get infect damage here. This hiccup. Alright. X-proof. Yeah. No worries. We have 4 types in the yard now. Let's see. Opponent doesn't pump anymore. Just take 3 poison counters, doesn't matter. Alright. Now we can go surveil. Let's do that. We need that blue mana for a possible Arcane Proxy, so we'll just go Hedge Maze. Oh, yeah, could have gone Thundering Falls as well. We don't want another land. Flooding already. So let's see here. We don't have a hasty enabler in our yard. We can go generous end. Misty to surveil one more in the yard. Hopefully we'll do that. So let's first forest cycle. Just grab a forest, the last remaining forest in our library. Can do this the other way around too, but let's just go surveil. Let's see. Living end. Don't really want that. Just bin that. Hopefully they don't have a surgical extraction. That's stupid if we are going to lose now because of a surgical. No, it doesn't seem likely. Hopefully it resolves. Yep. We get one food token of the generous end. Wipe their board. And we'll probably kill them next turn. Guess we're going to deal 6 plus 6, 12, and 2 off the Oliphant is 14, plus 5 is 9. Yeah, we're gonna deal a lot of damage. Don't see how they can survive this. I probably realized that too now. Opponent's still going. Oliphant is really nasty when it attacks. Gives another creature +2 plus trample. We'll just go to attacks. We can even bounce a Glistener Elf. But I'd rather save that. Glistener Elf probably dies anyway. Let's see. I can't really block the Sky Turtle. We'll just give Bloodbraid Marauder, Trample, and +2/+0 and Generous End to get as much damage in as we can, and opponent scoops it up. Alright, we're playing against an opponent who has a game that says chill, learning, modern. So we'll see how good of a player this person is. So they won the toss, they are going to be on the play. His hand is not super fast. I think we'll just keep it. We have a Force Cycler, we can do something on turn 1. Just gotta see what we're up against. Okay. Tamio, that's not super good to see. We can go with Surveil, but I'd rather go with the Generous End to fill up our graveyard. So let's just open up our graveyard here, see what our opponent is going to do. Hopefully they don't have much counter magic. Okay, create a clue. And okay, probably don't hold up counterspell. This is okay, we can board wipe this, but our opponent can discard creatures to it after they see they're up against Living End. We need green mana, we also need a red mana. Let's just get a stomping ground. We need blue mana for the Sky Turtle. Let's go Steam Fence. We'll chuck that in. Our life total matters here. And we'll just pick up a basic force with Generous End. So we don't deal ourselves too much damage. We already have blue and red in with the Thundering Falls. I think we should just go Fear of Missing Out to have a blocker here. Then bin the second one. Okay, that's a nice pickup, Bloodbraid Marauder. They can give their frog flying if they discard enough cards. So let's see. Can block the Tameo or destroy it. But we will living end. So our opponent is indeed discarding cards. Probably doesn't know what they are up against, so they are just discarding. Okay, they discard Kaito. That's a planeswalker. Okay, they give their frog flying, unfortunately. Would have been nice to have the fear of missing out destroyed, to have another creature in the yard. Can block this. I'll take damage. We can bounce the frog. Or go cash grab to deal 4 to our opponent. Okay, we're going to kill our fear of missing out and flip Tameo. Still have 3 types in the graveyard, so we can't go Marauder just yet. I think we just play the Thundering Fall, see if we can hit Delirium. If not, keep up Colossal Sky Turtle to bounce the frog. It's Living End, so we can Living End right now. Yeah, let's do that. We have another Marauder in case we have to Living End again. Or in case they counter, they probably play Force of Negation. They might discard some creatures to the frog to fill their own graveyard. They have a Subtlety. Okay. So Subtlety will come back. We don't really care about Bloodbraid Marauder. We'll just bottom it. I only care about the Living End. Bloodbraid Marauder cannot block, so... Yep, we'll cast Living End. And... let's see, I'll create a food. Okay, Subtlety can not really target anything. Useless. We'll keep the Bloodbraid Marauder to possibly Living End again. We don't really need the Oliphant. We probably don't really need the second cash grab. Just filling up our yard with types. Endurance is nice, so we could possibly empty their graveyard when we go Living End again. We might sit back and let our creatures die. Or just go more aggro, see what they play. If we don't block their Subtlety, they might go ninjutsu with Kaido. That's not something we want. Want to avoid that. Okay, they plus Tameo. Do have a Flame of Annul. So if they minus Tameo, we could go Endurance. Don't do anything. Our fears of missing out have Delirium, so they deal, possibly deal 4. We can also let Generous End deal more damage. Let's just go to combat and swing. We'll attack. We will just deal damage to them. We will go with the Generous End. And we'll go with another Fear of Missing Out. -1, -1. Okay, hopefully they'll kill the fears of missing out. Can go Sky Turtle. Okay, nice. Can go Sky Turtle. Marauder. Let's see. Take another 4. They might have counter magic open. Okay, we only deal 3, unfortunately. Okay, they block. That's good. We will go through combat again. What are we doing here? They might minus Tamio, so you want to have endurance. You could just chuck that in. Could even go cash grab. I'll just do nothing. Opponent is at 9. Okay, they're drawing a card. Can bounce any of their creatures. Good endurance. Even hard cast it. They are probably surveilling. Next turn we possibly deal. Okay. Going to 6. Next turn we'll possibly have lethal. Okay, another Tamio, sure. They plus Tamio, okay. I think they are dead. Because we will bounce Tamio, cash grab, and swing for lethal. They might flash in a Snapcaster Mage. We have all our colors already. We need blue for Sky Turtle, green for cash grab. I would like to have another green for endurance, so let's just chuck this in. We'll go cash grab, maybe they'll counter it. Let's see. Pass priority. Hopefully they will counter cash grab. Get rid of their counter magic. Waiting for opponent to pass priority. Alright, let's first go cash grab. Maybe we'll pick up another Sky Turtle. Go green, blue, red. Yep, that's good. Getting rid of their counter spells. I think they're dead. Unless they flash in a Snapcaster Mage. We'll just bounce the Tamio. Could have flashed in endurance, but they would have countered it. Let's see. Like to keep endurance as well to empty their graveyard. So fear of missing out is online. Pick up another Sky Turtle, that's pretty good. Now we can bounce a possible Snapcaster Mage. Let's just swing and they are probably dead. Just swing at them. We will untap Generous End. You get -1, -0. Okay. Take 5. And they'll take another 3. And they're dead. Swing at them. Cling to Dust. Gain 3 life. Targeting Oliphant. I'll just cast this now. Maybe I should have evoked it. And just put our stuff at the bottom. Alright. Opponent is laughing. They are dead. Alright. That's really funny. Cursed Totem is good against Frog. Don't want them to discard when we are trying to living end. They have some graveyard synergies. We'll bring in another Endurance. Collector Oof might be useful against the clue tokens that opponent creates with Damio. I want to bring in the Gemstone Caverns because we will be on the draw. We need the Mistrise Villages against counter magic, so we will go down one Misty. Mystical Dispute is useful against counter magic, blue counter magic. Ancient Grudge could work against some artifacts that they are bringing in to empty our graveyard. Don't want to over sideboard, we'll go down one living end. They have a Cling to Dust, which could work against Arcane Proxy. So we'll go down one of those. Arcane Proxy is also for filling the yard with types, since it's an artifact. I think a Dredger's Insight is not really useful on the draw. Want to keep Enduring Courages in for the hasty effect. 11 Rumble is better than both. Cash Grab is nice because it's an instant. Can do that at their end step to fill the yard. Sky Turtle nice to bounce. I think we can go down one Elephant. And then maybe one more living end. This game could go long, so you might want to go keep the 3 living ends, keep the Arcane Proxy. Maybe one Fear missing out. Let's see. Let's run it.
Your game has started.
So no Gemstone Caverns. This hand is okay. They could counter Dredger's Insight. Yeah, let's keep. I think we're going with a more of a long game here. Probably have Graveyard Hate. Could use Sky Turtle to bounce. Possible Tamio that would flip. Let's see, Mistrise Village, nice pickup. I'll just go Scalding Tarn and say go. So we have blue already. Unfortunately, our surveillance, both of our surveillance contain blue. See what they've been. A Force of Negation, that's nice. Could pick that up with Snapcaster Mage though. They can't pitch anything to it. They cast a Psychic Frog. It's nice because we can bounce that. I do need green mana, so we'll get the green Surveillant here. Edge Maze. Let's see what we're drawing. Atawara. Yeah, we'll keep that probably in it for the long run. Can just go Mistrise and say go. Can always bounce the Frog or go Cash Grab. Just let Frog hit. Try to go Cash Grab. Unless they go Kaito, but they don't have enough mana. Okay, Nihil's Spell Bomb. Not what we want to see, but that's alright. We'll just go Cash Grab. Can always living end with nothing in the yard. Once we cast the Bloodbraid Marauder, the trigger is on the stack when we have enough card types. So there's no point in cracking the spell bomb then. Okay, so... Oh, sorry, I changed the order. That's... should have said no. So we can go Mountain or another Mist Rise. Let's go Mountain because we have all our colors then. Might even want to cast an Enduring Courage. 3 types in the yard. Bloodbraid Marauder, nice. I think we'll just go Misty to surveil one more time and keep a Sky Turtle to bounce a frog. Bowmasters. Okay. Don't really care about that. Not really drawing cards. I think I'm gonna bounce the frog so we can go Living End next turn without them discarding creatures. Just bounce the frog now. Get enough types in the yard. They don't get to draw, they don't get to discard. Cling to Dust, Sky Turtle, okay, sure. Whatever. They gain 3 life. Not super relevant. Cast the Psychic Frog, okay. Maybe should have bounced it end of turn. We will go Thundering Falls to get that other red mana. Ancient Grudge. I think that's useful. Is it more useful in the yard? And it will cost 1. Is it more useful? Yeah, we'll just draw it. We will destroy the Nihil Spellbomb, so they don't get to draw. Let's see, we'll use red, blue. Keep that green for Dredger's Insight. If they don't crack it, we can always go... No, we still can go. If they have counter magic, we will just flash it back. Okay, they crack it, nice. We have at least 1 type in the yard. They don't get to draw. Perfect. We can keep the green mana up. But I'd rather go Dredger's Insight to fill the yard again. Possibly gain a life. It's not likely to have another Spellbomb, but you never know. Endurance, yeah, why not? It's a good pickup. Gain 1 life. We can now empty out their yard. We have 4 card types, so we can even go Marauder, Endurance, and wipe their board and yard. In Jitsu, that is less good. Probably go... No, I thought they would go with... I see, yeah. Surveil 2, okay. So this thing has hexproof during their turn. And I believe it is only a creature during their turn, so they bin Psychic Frog. That's fine, don't care about it. So we can go with an uncounterable Living End. Here. Also, so we could go with an uncounterable living end and then pitch endurance. Pitch stretches inside to endurance. Could also just wing it. I think I want to play it safe. So we will just go Marauder. Put the Cascade trigger on the stack. Make it uncounterable with Mistrise Village. Wait for it to resolve. Hopefully they don't have a consigned memory. Let's see. That would suck, then we're dead. Okay, they are surveilling. No worries, their yard will be emptied out. Okay, we need to wait for living end to be on the stack, otherwise endurance will be uncounterable. We want living end to be uncounterable. Discarding cards to the frog, sure. Emptying out their hand, pretty useless. Alright, let's see what we're hitting here. Living end, yeah, sure, I want to cast that. Now we'll pitch an endurance using Dredger's Insight. This player puts everything at the bottom. They can still discard to the frog, but they already did. They did it too soon. Alright, we can put this at the bottom. Now they have a Cling to Dust, so we'll just empty out our own graveyard too. We gain 1 life. And we still have a land drop. I think I might wanna keep the Ottawa to bounce the Kaito. Yeah, let's do that. Kaito is a bit of a pain. Next turn we'll possibly attack for 9. Okay, Flame of Anor. So they're going to kill a creature, probably endurance. Or are they going to draw? No. Just killing endurance here. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. Do we want to take 4? Sure. Yeah, why not? Could even go Living End again. At some point. Can bring in Enduring Courage as a blocker, so we'll just swing. Can even kill Kaito. Yeah, let's do that. We don't even have to bounce. Fatal Push. Fatal Pushing the Bloodbreak Marauder. Sure. Should have fetched and then Fatal Push the Endurance, because the Bloodbreak Marauder cannot block, and it's only a 3-1. So I think we'll go Enduring Courage. If this dies, we have a nice effect on the battlefield. And then next turn we could always go Fear of Missing Out. This could block Kaito, free block, and then we have that effect on the field. Surveilling. Still have Ottawara in hand. Only have 2 cards in hand. They plus Kaito, we'll just block. What's the ultimate here? Nothing. Lightning bolt. Okay, that's fine. I'll take 5 then. Hopefully they don't have another one. But we would still be alive, so we can bounce the Kaito, or we can try to destroy it. We'll just attack the Kaito. Let's see what happens. This will attack Kaito. Hopefully it'll die. Okay. Nice. We'll go Fear of Missing Out. And bin the Generous End. Oh, it even gets haste, of course. Could have played it before combat. That's a punt. I think we just want to bin the Generous End here. Draw a card. Arcane Proxy could be a blocker, but it is another type in the yard. Yeah, let's just go with Arcane Proxy. We'll draw another one. Alright. Could go Generous End to make a land drop. Think it's fine to hold Generous End in hand. So next turn, that is not so good. We can bounce it. Can pick up a force with Generous End. It's okay. Can even go Arcane Proxy, give it haste. Just pick up a force just in case. Don't have surveillance anymore. So let's see. Gemstone Caverns or an island. So we could go Arcane Proxy, prototype it. Can't play anything out of the yard, unfortunately. Can also bounce the Harbinger. Harbinger probably dies. I don't think I care about that. We'll just play out the forest. Play the Arcane Proxy. And just swing. We are running out of time here. We gotta speed up a little. Consign, okay. So we can keep Arcane Proxy. We can hold it back. Okay, they scooped. Alright.